Well, it started off as a concept that I entered into a smaller. It was like our state thespian festival here in Oklahoma, and this year it was combined with Texas and Kansas as well. And they had a little contest where you could enter a little opening number. And I've always loved English class. English class has always been English has always been my favorite subject. So it wasn't too difficult to kind of come up with a concept that fits that setting. And I've
Mhm.
always been a writer. Obviously, here we are. I've always absolutely loved it and kind of had that love for it. And over quarantine, I had actually a few pen pals, real life pen pals as well. And I've always been fascinated by that and the whole thing of getting to know somebody through letters and stuff. So it was kind of a combination of a lot of things I loved that turned into this really fun plot line. This is the first one that I actually had fully produced. I have a few like others that are in the works, and I have one that's a straight play that's being performed actually at college this fall, and I'm super excited for. But it's definitely kind of the start of it all. It's what got people to kind of notice me as a writer, which was great. It's crazy to kind of think about me being seen as a writer. It's a dream come true, and I love it.
I'm
For pen pal, I kind of started with developing the characters. One of my main things with characters, and when I kind of create a play, I create a play around the complexity of the characters rather than trying to build the characters off of the complexity of the play. And obviously, same goes for musicals, because I think that all the characters should have the potential to be so deep, and they should have enough material written for the actors to kind of make them what they want them to be, but be forced to make them something more than just surface level. So I started with the characters, the different dynamics that I wanted with them. I kind of wrote a little bit of an outline of scene by scene. This is kind of what I'm wanting. This is point A to point B. And then also continue building characters around that to give each character their own objective and kind of continue building off of that. And then I got into the music composition and filled in the little holes. And like 10 revisions later, we're here. The one thing that I take pride in with Pen Pal, obviously, amongst other things, I've fallen in love with this piece that I've written. And I've been fallen in love with all my characters. And every single time I see somebody different portray a character, I fall in love with that. And it's incredible. But I, I just, I don't know. It's difficult. Oh man, the biggest thing that, and I've learned this a ton this past year, especially as COVID has limited everybody a little bit. The biggest thing is just go for it. The worst you can do is fail, and with failure, you just learn more from it. So just go for it, because the bad things that can happen will never be nearly as great as the wonderful things that can happen from it. And you'll never know unless you try.
it,
um, I didn't start really. I've always had this love for writing, and obviously, I've always been so dear to any teachers that allowed me to do it in class. Like even since elementary school, writing was my forte. But I was always had it in my mind that I couldn't pursue it professionally for some reason. Just that was kind of like an insane goal. And as I'm getting older and just kind of like throwing myself at it and putting things out there, it's seeming more obtainable. I'm starting my BFA in musical theater next month, which is crazy. I'm so excited. So I'm going to a program to study musical theater specifically, and I'm minoring in writing as well. So both of the things I love. It's a really good place to be. So I don't know what will happen in those 4 years, but I'm going to just kind of continue to grow in all the things I love and see where it takes me. One of the things, and this is one reason why I've also fallen in love with my characters in Pen Pal, is I feel like youth voices are not intentionally, but oftentimes silenced, because we're taught from a young age to look up to the adults in our life, which can be wonderful. And there are multiple role models that are just amazing to grow up with, obviously. And that's kind of how we get to the point where we're at. But seeing people your age doing things that you thought you could never do creates this new sense of, oh, well, I could do that. And it's just encouraging creativity and kind of getting rid of all of those limitations that might, limit people our age. One of my main things while writing this was highlighting the complexity that is oftentimes ignored with younger characters. With a lot of characters in a lot of shows that are a younger age, are oftentimes very they're seen in this very like bubbly and light, and they oftentimes lack this the realness that comes with everybody of all ages.
Mhm.
So I wanted to create characters that people our age could play, and truly be themselves in, opposed to, little kids playing like an 8-year-old playing Elle Woods and Legally Blonde. That doesn't quite fit that. But I want everybody to be able to watch it and leave with this new sense of um, realness, if that makes sense, and kind of open the eyes of the audience to see that everybody around you in your life is all kind of dealing with the same viewpoint as you, because we oftentimes see ourselves as our main characters, when in reality everybody around us is going through the same struggles and the same worries, and even if they're not exactly the same, there's so many similarities, and that it's better when we all come together. Said I have this deep love for it, and it's been an incredible journey. But my main thing is just, you never know unless you try. You never know, and that goes for like the context, obviously, of the festival and everything, but also in the context of the show and taking things away, is you never know what connections you're not making unless you try to make them, or what similarities you have with a person, or what struggles you guys have both been through, or what things you both love, unless you get to know the person and truly get to kind of bond with those around you.